Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's Red Dead Redemption 2 video, we're going to be talking about a trick that will actually allow you to get more XP, more money, and more gold from completing missions in free roam. So FunMW2, who you guys know, Rockstar Insider, he actually posted something on the GTA forum site that was pretty interesting. It was a thread called Stranger Missions Payout. And he was discussing how these stranger missions that you can do in Red Dead Online free roam were very similar to GTA Online missions. Now, both of these types of missions share one distinct trait, and that is their payout is determined not by how well you complete something, but by how long it takes you to complete something. So that was kind of interesting and something you might not have known about. So that's definitely something that I wanted to test out because I think that these stranger missions are not only a lot of fun, they're relatively easy to do, they're rewarding to see some of familiar faces from the first Red Dead Redemption game and Red Dead Redemption 2 single player. So I wanted to see for myself if taking longer in these missions was more lucrative than doing them as quickly as possible. Now, for the most part, all of the stranger missions that you do in-game will basically have you going from point A to point B, gathering something at point B, and then delivering that to point C. That's basically all these free roam missions are. Some of them are a little bit unique in that you might have to deliver mail to 3 or 4 different people, or you might have to drop off at various points. Again, it sort of depends on the stranger you talk to. They might send you on a good type of mission. They might send you on a bad type of mission. It might be a mail delivery. Again, it's all going to depend on who you actually speak to. But for the most part, all the missions are the same. So my first mission here, I actually got from Josiah Trulani, who you probably recognize from single player. And this mission was incredibly straightforward. I basically just had to go to Braithwaite Manor. I had to steal a horse, and when I stole the horse, I had to bring it to a specific location just outside of Rhodes. The mission was very simple and very straightforward. There was really only 2 things that could prevent me from failing this mission. The first was having the timer run out, which you could see I was given a generous amount of time, like well over 15 minutes in order to complete this. And I did not need 15 minutes in order to complete this, nor should really anyone. It's that simple. And then number 2, also similar to GTA Online, Rockstar super encourages other players to come after you. Like, it'll indicate that other rivals can attack you or can steal the horse, which I think is silly. And I think it was much easier to interfere with people's businesses and things like this in GTA Online because you could get in a helicopter or a jet and be to someone's location in 2 seconds. Now, since the only real transportation methods here would be fast traveling, which costs you money, or horseback, which could take a while, I noticed that no one really seems to interfere, which is quite nice, at least in the lobbies that I got. So you guys can see here that I arrived at the location well with time remaining, 12, 13 minutes left, and I easily could have turned it in right now. But that's not what I wanted to test, because I wanted to see if waiting till the very last possible minute did indeed mean that you were going to get more of a payout. Now, Rockstar has buffed these stranger missions, and usually I'll get 5 gold nuggets, $7 to $10 per doing them if I just do them normally as quickly as possible. Like if I were to have turned this in, with 11 minutes remaining, that's probably the reward I would have ultimately received. So basically what I did here was I was kind of AFK. I had my map open, and every minute or 2 I would check on the timer just to see if, I had any time remaining or how much time I had remaining. And again, for the most part, no one seemed to bother me here. I only had one person that came in my direction, and I'm pretty sure they weren't even interested in attacking me because I shot them, I killed them, and then they went on their own business. So I don't even think they really cared about me being in this area. I was just being really overprotective. And I waited till I had about 35 seconds left before I actually had to go inside of the area and turn in this horse. And from there, it was pretty simple, pretty straightforward. I just had to hitch the horse to this post, and then my mission was complete. Now, one thing I would definitely recommend here is not wait until the last 5 seconds to turn this in. Like for this example, I didn't know I had to hitch my horse. That process takes like 10 or 15 seconds, and it can be a little clumsy at times. Other times you'll have to interact with an NPC and it might not register right away. So do not wait until like the very, very last second in order to do this. Give yourself like 30 seconds at a minimum in order to complete this. You do not want to like spend all your time waiting this out. And then when it does come time to turning in your reward, you don't get it because you let the time expire. And the award I got here was quite surprisingly nice. So I ended up getting 20 gold nuggets. You see the 0.2 gold bars right there. That is a ton. I got over $20, which is really nice. And then I ended up getting nearly 500 XP. That's like completing an award, getting like a golden buckle. So that's incredibly nice right there. And it was really simple. Like I basically just AFK'd every once in a while looking at my mini map and making sure that like no one was going to come up and attack me. And it was that simple. Just by taking a longer time to complete the mission, you ended up getting a better payout. So that does seem to be the case. Rockstar rewards the length of time you spend in something rather than how well or how quickly you're able to do something. Now, I wanted to test this in a couple more ways, and I wanted to get another stranger mission here. And this one I actually received from Bonnie McFarlane. Now, this one I wanted to do as quickly as possible. Now, I probably got the wrong mission to try and do as quickly as possible. I actually had a kind of a difficult one, but I still didn't waste any time at the end. I just wanted to complete my objective. It was a pretty standard mission. I had to find this cougar, and then I had to bring the cougar back to Miss McFarlane. And you guys can see that when I was finished, I still had like 13 minutes on the clock, so still a long, long time. And I ended up getting significantly less. So I ended up getting 12 gold nuggets, which is still good, not great. I got about half the amount of money, $11.53. And then I ended up getting a little bit less than half XP, 288. So there is a significant difference between completing it as quickly as you can and waiting out the timer. And I'm sure if I wanted to, I could have waited out the timer there, and I'm sure that would have been a massive payout because I started with more time in this mission than I did the first one. So I'm sure I could have made more than 20 gold nuggets, more than $20, and gotten well over 500 XP. But this one, again, I wanted to show you what happens if you were to complete it as quickly as you possibly could. And for the last stranger mission I did today, I sort of show you what happens if you do get one of these delivery missions. Again, it's very, very similar. Same instance here. I got the same sort of notification that like rival players could steal my items. And I don't really think that mattered all that much, like whether they had the option or not. I don't think that affected the payout. And this again was pretty simple. I just delivered the first bag. And then when I had the second bag, I pretty much just waited out the timer. I had like 8 or 7 minutes to kill. So basically, I just sat there. I did the same thing. I had the map pulled up. I made sure that no one was there. And something you could do here, if you really wanted to, and this is something I would recommend, if you do this sort of method where you are waiting out the stranger missions, definitely get the companion app because you can get that on your phone or like your tablet, and you can go in another room, you can go upstairs, you can go outside, and you can just have the map pulled out. And if no one's around you, you're going to be fine. You're not going to disconnect because I think that takes like 13 minutes to do that anyways. So you can do some chores, you can go make a snack, whatever the case is, come back, and you still should be good to go, and you can turn it in with about a minute left. And again, another reason why I say it's good to do this with like 30 seconds left, you guys can see like when I interact with this NPC, it takes him a while to like accept the delivery mission. Now, what's interesting is with this one, I waited till the very end, and I still only received 12 gold nuggets. I did get a little bit more cash, 15 gold bars, and then I ended up getting around 400 XP. So I really do think it is the exact amount of time you've spent. I don't think it varies based off of the type of mission. I think it literally has to do with, did it take you 10 minutes? Did it take you 11 minutes? Did it take you 15, 20 minutes? And the longer you're in there, which the stranger missions will never give you like an hour to complete something. The most I saw was that Bonnie McFarlane mission that gave me 20 minutes to get it done. And that was like me hunting a cougar and It was a pretty complex mission, but I think the longer you stay in, just the more money you ultimately make. Now, I'd say that this is really good for probably two things. The money is nice, but definitely not worth like being inefficient and just sitting your controller down for 15 to 20 minutes. You know, you could fish, you could do a showdown series, you could do a bevy of other things. But I will say this is quite nice for gold. Like just doing this about 4 or 5 times, I already had another gold bar, which is amazing. Gold is one of the hardest things to get in the game, you know, unless you're getting treasure maps or unless you're getting, you know, gang hideouts, getting lucky like that. It is difficult to get them, and the XP is fantastic too. You typically only get like that 300 to 400, 500, 600 XP amount if you're completing awards or if you're winning like a showdown series or something along those lines. So I will say it was great for the gold bars. It was great for XP. It was okay for money. However, I think the bigger problem here is definitely the way Rockstar has these missions laid out and how they justify paying people. I mean, it really doesn't make sense. Instead of getting paid the most amount of money for doing it the quickest or doing it the most efficiently or the best, you get rewarded for doing what I just tested, which is doing it and then waiting to the very last second. And that just doesn't seem to make sense to me. Like, in no other walk of life are you rewarded more for taking like a longer time to do something. You know, you typically get paid more if you do a better job and you can get it done quicker. So I don't know why Rockstar has this sort of backwards logic here, but they do. And it's really upsetting because for me, that was like the big problem with the GTA missions is they were fun, but if you completed them in 5 minutes, the payouts weren't amazing. However, if you just sat in your car and waited, you know, for 15 or 20 minutes, you would get more money. But at the end of the day, that really isn't all that enjoyable unless you're looking for like a semi-AFK way to make more money from these stranger missions. But anyways, that's all the information that I've got for you guys in this video today. I'd love to hear your thoughts, opinions, and more in the comments down below. Have you noticed the stranger mission payouts in Red Dead Online? And is this what you do, waiting it out, or do you just try and complete it as early as you can so that you can get it and move on to your next objective? Let me know your thoughts, opinions, and more in the comments down below. I'd love to hear from you guys down there. If you did go on to enjoy this video, though, a like rating would, of course, be awesome. And subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new or you like daily Red Dead Redemption 2 videos like this. With all the way, guys, like I said, thanks so much for watching. Take care. I'll see you guys in the next video.